Things keep getting better and better after all. Now the courts have put a nearly year-long halt on Paramount Skydance's planned buyout of Warner Brothers to really investigate things. That could hopefully mean the Elf's evil plans are foiled. Woohoo!
Yes, Daffy, but we're not entirely out of the woods yet. Allow me, Sam Valentino, private tune detective, to elaborate on the subject. Paramount Skydance's hostile takeover deal of Warner Bros. Discovery has been officially put on hold until June 2027, or until after an antitrust trial where the courts issue a ruling on the numerous lawsuits channeling the merger, whichever comes first. But anyways, I had a wild hunch something like this would happen. I mean, we've got 12 state attorney generals, including the one representing the channel creator's home state of Massachusetts, having filed a big antitrust lawsuit to block the deal. Then there's the Writers Guild of America's lawsuit to block the deal, and even some Paramount shareholders uncertain about the Ellisons' actions, suing them over it. And while European regulators may have approved of the deal, including having Belgium and Portugal having just recently approved, the United Kingdom is still investigating it. Also, just recently, the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation for Television and Radio Artists, announced they are also strongly opposed to the deal and are supporting the lawsuits, not surprisingly. Additionally, it was said, should the merger fail, Paramount Skydance will have to pay $7 billion to Warner Brothers. Which is honestly a stupid term as well, as if it could just potentially destroy Paramount if the merger doesn't. And yes, now they have to pay Warner Brothers shareholders for failing to get this deal done before October, with, according to my sources, roughly $650 million per quarter a year. This deal is just nothing but trouble. Especially with the Ellisons being a couple of big Republican babies, which isn't too surprising given they are good friends with President Trump. I also heard talk that Trump and the Ellisons actually bribed the Department of Justice to approve of the deal. I'm not surprised they'd resort to some foul play. But they did agree to pause the deal until next June, probably to avoid complicating things further. Just one big legal mess now.
Yeah, but hopefully this means Paramount and the Elfins will just give up and realize it's not worth being such spoiled brats over.
Yeah, just putting the merger on hold isn't a sign to tell those mugs at Paramount Skydance to just stop, and that what they're doing is cartoonishly unrealistic and dangerous. I don't know what is. Again, this is much worse than when the Walt Disney Company bought out 20th Century Fox, largely so they could get The Simpsons and the movie rights to Marvel's Fantastic Four and X-Men, and in the process took down Blue Sky Studios with it. Well, that was also partly due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and from signs I'm seeing, Paramount Skydance likely wants to shut down Warner Brothers Animation and its related studios as part of all the massive layoffs that will commence. But at least things seem to definitely be improving for Warner Brothers, with the merger being put on hold for up to a year and bringing us one step closer to those dastardly Ellisons dropping the deal altogether after having some light shed on them to see how careless and dangerous their plan is. Heck, they find having the deal backed by Saudi Arabian financiers to possibly pose a threat to national security. Also, California's State Attorney General, Rob Bonta, has said, in addition to not wanting such a merger to happen, he won't allow any deals or loopholes to allow Paramount Skydance to get their way. Also, this did lead to the Ellisons threatening to pack up and leave California if they don't get their ways, like the pushy crybabies they are, and relocate Paramount Skydance, likely to Texas or New York or even Tennessee. And let me remind you guys again that they only moved their corporate offices to California last year, as before that they were stationed in New York for some time, especially after merging with Viacom back in the 90s. And while the Viacom name may be dead, their evil influence is stronger than ever with the Paramount Skydance Corporation, making that freaky zooming V of Doom closing logo from 50 years ago more relevant than ever now. You know things get bad when a meme of some kind becomes even more relevant, even more so than 19 years ago when Viacom, aka Paramount, filed that lawsuit on YouTube over unauthorized video uploads of their copyrighted content. Even if it's kind of an immature move, Paramount Skydance leaving California would be an easy and very viable solution to this whole mess. Oh, by the way, speaking of lawsuits and legal stuff, in time to when Coyote vs. Acme comes out later next month, Warner Brothers and Ketchup Entertainment have even come out with an actual website for the Avery Jones and Maltese attorney firm. They bought the domain name averyjonesmaltese.com and made it into an actual website, like the one featured in the movie. It's pretty fun, and it reminds me of when The Simpsons used to come out with such tie-in websites, purchasing the domain name featured in an episode and turning it into an actual online site. Along with when Pixar did something similar as part of marketing Wall-E with the fake website for the movie's By and Large Corporation. Pretty clever strategy.
Yeah, maybe it'll help the movie be more of a success. More so than Space Jam: A New Legacy having a tie-in website that replicates the famous Space Jam site that's been online for almost 30 years now.
Hopefully that is the case, Daphne. And hopefully we eventually get Paramount Skydance throwing in the towel and giving up and trying to buy out and potentially destroy Warner Brothers. And it seems even more likely now given what's been happening lately. And I'm glad the channel's creator's home state is playing a part in that big lawsuit. So all of you out there should keep watching this channel for more big updates. Hopefully good news, or whatever else me and my Toon Chums come up with next.
Wow.